प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण भगवान की जय। प्रेम से बोलो व्यास भगवान की जय। रतना सिंहासन पर बैठे नंदलाला, फूलन से फूलन भले माला।
माता पिता की सेवा करके जीवन सफल बना लो। सब तीरथ है इन चरणों में, इनसे लगन लगा लो, लगा लो। जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता। जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता। मात पिता के सेवा करके जीवन सफल बना लो। सब तीरथ है इन चरणों में, इनसे लगन लगा लो। जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता। प्यारी मात पिता, जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता। जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता, जय मात पिता। जब तक के है आकाश पे चांद और सितारे, भगवान सलामत रहे माँ बाप हमारे।
The Buddhist friends, can we all please stand for Aarti?
प्रेम से बोलो श्री कृष्ण चंद्र भगवान की जय। ओम जय भगवती गीते, माँ जय भगवती गीते, जय भगवती गीते, माँ जय भगवती गीते। हरिया कमल बहारिणे, हरिया कमल बहारिणे, सुंदर सुमिलिते। ओम जय भगवती
सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नमः। कर्पूरगौरं करुणावतारं संसारसारं भुजगेन्द्रहारं सदा वसन्तं हृदयारविन्दे भवं भवानि सहितं नमामि। ॐ त्वमेव माताश्च पिता त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव विद्याद्रविणं त्वमेव सर्वं त्वमेव। ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वर गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरुवे नमः। गुरुजी महाराज की जय। उमापति महादेव की जय। अयोध्या राम लखन की जय। पवन सुत हनुमान की जय। वृंदावन बिहारी लाल की जय। व्यासी महाराज की जय। जय जय सीताराम।
I'm so happy to see the Bronx Queens from Angola who celebrated that day today. Yeah. So we're going to take one from rendition for Yagna, then we're going to go into her Zihas. As you know, like this young man here is going to be celebrating his 25th birthday. Please give him a round of applause. And my dear sister Sati and Kate, she's celebrating their anniversary. 38 years anniversary. And my dear other sister is celebrating her 12th year anniversary. Congratulations. And this kurta is very special kurta here. Lakshmi. So Lakshmi gave her dad this very special kurta to wear today for a special occasion. So we want to give Lakshmi a round of applause. Are you ready? All right, we're going to go right over to her. Thank you so much. I didn't forget your name today, right?
No, you got it right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sitaram, everyone. You know, Guruji's mom was like a nanny to me. And throughout the years, meeting her and being with her, I could tell you that she's one of the sweetest people I've ever met. Her bhakti is undeniable. And one of the things I really liked and that I remember is her infectious smile that has the ability to melt anyone's heart. Come on,
my dear friends, I have my dear sister, my niece here, so I'm going to do rendition right now. Dave and Megan, all the way from Minnesota. Please give them a round of applause. We came all the way down to this Yagna special. Now we have just two young men here. Come guys. And they want to say something. They tell me they want to say something.
Thank you everyone for coming. We are here to remember my great-grandparents who are the reason that my Nana is here. Without him, my mom or me would not be here. I want to thank all of them for playing a part in raising me. I also want to wish my Nana a very happy birthday. Thank you for being the best Nana who spoils us with piggyback rides, toys, and lots of hugs. I love you. Lastly, I want to wish my parents a very happy anniversary. Dave and I love you both very much. Thank you all again for coming. Our family appreciates your support.
They need a bigger round of applause than that. All right, over to Megan.
Dave, got to say something.
Oh, hold on.
Thank you all for coming. Happy birthday, Nana. I love you, Nana. Happy anniversary to my mom and dad.
It's always refreshing to be in your childhood wonder. Guruji, we would like to wish you an incredibly happy birthday. It's always a pleasure to be with you in satsang, and I know it's your birthday, but I consider myself so blessed to be only a few feet away from you. So we wish you all the best today and always, and to our Trinity family, we love you so much.
Thank you.
Narine
Please give Ron better round of applause. Thank you. From a very long way out from Minnesota. Where's Yagna? Puja for the Ramayana. Then we're going to go right into the Bronze Queens Ramayana Gold. That's the name of the group. You drive all the way for the bronze, and some of them drive for Queens also. That's what they call it. Bronze Queens Ramayana Gold. So please give them a round of applause. That's right, Babuji just reminded me it's very hard to find Ramayana Gold these days since Rudy passed away.
भैया चलो सखी मथुरा नगरी जहाँ कृष्ण ओ कृष्ण कंधैया बीरा जातो है चलो सखी मथुरा Krishna हमारे भी दुख हरो गोपाल और के दुख हरो है तुमने हमारे भी दुख हरो गोपाल और के दुख हरो है तुमने हमारे भी दुख हरो गोपाल और के दुख हरो है तुमने हमारे भी दुख हरो गोपाल ओ बनवाले कृष्ण मुरारे ओ बनवाले कृष्ण मुरारे ओ बनवाले कृष्ण मुरारे ओ बनवाले कृष्ण मुरारे हमारे दुख Thank you so much.
Adorations unto thee, O Krishna, who art that supreme Lord, who is the Lord of all. Glories unto you, who is that all-pervading entity. Unto thee, who is the storehouse of mercy and compassion. Enoth, we seek your divine light to cast out all forms of darkness. By your grace, O Lord, the impossible becomes possible. Guide us to absolute truth and free us from the bondage of this material world, so that we may take shelter at your divine abode. निर्विघ्नं कुरुमेव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा सरस्वती नमस्तुभ्यं वरदे कामरूपिणि विद्यारम्भं करिष्यामि सिद्धिर्भवतु मे सदा या कुन्देन तुषारहारधवल या शुभ्रवस्त्रावृता या वीणावदनन्दमण्डलकरा या श्वेतपद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युतशङ्करा प्रभृतिः देवी सदा वन्दिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती करोमि शङ्करोऽहन्नि श्रद्धा विश्वरूपिणो भाव्यां विना पश्यन्ति सिद्धस्वन्तस्तमीश्वरम् ॐ गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुर्साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः मुदं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं देवीं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकानां राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते हरिर्नाम हरिर्नामेव केवलम् कलु नास्त्यैव गतिरन्यथा जय राधा माधव Jai Shri Krishna. Radhe Radhe. Firstly, let me begin by offering my obeisance to my mother and father, my guru, who is our Dharmacharya. As you know him, Pitaji on the Rhine, as I know him, Dad. And as you know, today is a special day for him. As you've been hearing, he's turning 25 years old, so please give him a big round of applause. And you know, the math doesn't really add up, because if he's 25, then I must be negative something. But nevertheless, he is always looking very young and splendid, and my little sister wanted to make it a point to let everyone know that she picked out this quote to him. That's why he looks so handsome today. She said to make sure you say that. And so it's always an honor to be alongside him, especially sitting next to him here on this seat. And I also want to give a very special ovations to my spiritual group. He's not here, but he's always in my mind, Pitaji, who resides there in Canada. And also a very special welcome to all the Pandits here, Pandit Ganesh, Pandit Sanjay, who's not here, but he sent his representatives. We have Pandit Kumar, Pandit Ganesh, Pandit Nepal, and of course Pandit Loknath Sakul and his son, who are here doing the puja for the Yajna. A very special pranam and swagatam to all of them. And of course, a very welcome to all of you as well. Mothers, fathers, brothers and sisters. And not forgetting my two nephews. You heard them earlier. Please give them a big round of applause. Very bold, fearless individuals. And I also want to single out Gayatri Prasad, Elsie, as we know her. It is very nice seeing you here. She is the program administrator there at Stony Brook University for the doctorate program in neuroscience. So we got very close when I was doing my PhD. She helped me navigate the complex coursework, the journey throughout the entire doctorate, and so very nice to see you here as well. And of course, I want to welcome Auntie Mendra, Gopagu, Master of Ceremonies, and all of you as well. Now, tonight, my dear brothers and sisters, as you all know, it marks the second session of this three-session Gita Yajna, sponsored by the Narine family, my dad and his siblings, as in honor of our late and dear late parents, my Aja and Aji, Mr. and Mrs. Owad. And yesterday we saw the unveiling of this beautiful murti, the two of them are right there. And if you look at them, they look like they're very much alive. It's almost eerie how much alive they look. But it's beautiful to see them here joining us in this Yajna as well. Now, I remember very vividly, many years before my Aji passed, that she had told my dad explicitly that whenever the time came for her to leave the world, she wanted to do a yajna in her honor. Those were her instructions. And I remember that very well. And she also told me that she wanted me to officiate and lead at this yajna as well. And so her words are coming to fruition here today as we've conducting this yajna. But when I was hearing this, I was much younger back then. And I was thinking to myself, well, you know, there's so many ways people celebrate death. So many different ways. Why was she so bent on performing a yajna? For instance, if you look at the Mexican culture, how do they celebrate death? They have what's called Dia de los Muertos, which is a multi-day festival where people are singing and dancing and joking and recollecting all of the memories from those who passed. And if you go to Ghana, and my dad would tell you because he goes there very often these days, if you go to Ghana, they don't even wait that long. Some tribal parties, tribal regions, they actually sport up on the day of the funeral itself. And if you were to witness one of these things, you can't tell if they're happy that the person died, or if they're happy because the person is going to a better place, resting in peace. And so, regardless, the point is that there are so many different ways that one can celebrate and memorialize a life. And yet, my Aja and Aji, they insisted that when the time came for both of them to part ways with the world, and after the death rites, the Andyeshti rites had been completed, a yajna must be done in their name. Why? Why yajna? Well, in order to answer that, we first need to understand what yajna is. The Lord Sri Krishna, he expertly begins to divulge to us the meaning of yajna in chapter 4. Remember, as we were talking about last night, Arjuna was overcome with grief at the thought of having to subdue his kinsmen in order to win this war against the Kauravas. And the result of this grief, he entered into a state of inaction, allowing adharma to prevail. But seeing him in this manner, the merciful Lord, he sees now the need to impart this transcendental knowledge, the knowledge of yogic science to Arjuna. And in this conversation, he begins to explain the very science of yajna, exactly what yajna is. And so, my brothers and sisters, in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, chapter 4, verses 25 to 28, Sri Krishna tells us in these beautiful words, Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hari Krishna योगिना पर्यो उपासते ब्रह्माज्ञापते यज्ञं यज्ञे दैव्योपहूवति श्रोत्रादीनिन्द्रियण्ये संयमादिष्ठुवति शब्दीं विषाय नान्ये इन्द्रियविष्णुजुवति सर्वनिन्द्रिया कर्माणि प्राणकर्माणि च परे आत्मा संयम योगाग्नौ जुवति यान्धिपतिः द्रव्य यज्ञ ततो यज्ञ योग यज्ञ सता परे स्वर्ग यज्ञ यज्ञश्च धातय संशीता व्रता कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं
कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं
Now here in these verses, the Lord Sri Krishna is telling us about the 12 different types of yajnas, or the 12 different types of sacrifices, which are 1. Being Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna, Indriya Yajna, Mano Yajna, then there's Atma Samyam Yajna, Dravya Yajna, Tapo Yajna, there's Yoga Yajna, Swarga Yajna, Jnana Yajna, and Pran Yajna, and finally Deha Yajna. 12 different types of yajnas that all of us as Hindus should prescribe to on a daily basis. Now, it'll be not enough time to go through every single one of these here tonight, but we will single out a few of them, including the first two, which is Deva Yajna and Brahma Yajna. The Lord says that some beings, they perfectly perform worship to the Devatas, and others make sacrificial offerings to the holy fire of the Supreme Brahma, which means that, you simply put this together, it means that they perform puja. They worship the Divine Lord through Deva Yajna and Brahma Yajna. They perform the Havan, the Homa. And in this way, we recognize, by performing puja, the reason why we perform puja, we recognize that the Lord is our sole benefactor. He provides everything for us because He is everything. He is the source of everything. The Lord here, He is mother, He is father, and just like any mother and father, He goes out of His way to see that your needs are always met. He is the very object of knowledge. He is the sustainer of and the master of the universe. He is both the creation and He is the destruction. He is the sun, He is the rain, He is immortality. All of these things is present within Him. And so the wise now, acknowledging this, knowing this to be true, they recognize His omnipresence and they perform puja, Deva Yajna and Brahma Yajna. And being pleased with the offerings of His devotees, the Lord abundantly blesses you. Abundantly blesses you. And as we heard last night, it doesn't take much to please Him. Just a simple flower, a simple fruit, that's all it takes to make offerings to the Lord. You remember the story of Sugama, the poor Brahmin? Now he was so poor he didn't have anything to give to Sri Krishna. His wife convinced him to go to the journey, to take the journey there to the royal palace, but he had nothing in the house. So what did he do? You say you remember the story, what did he do? He took some grains from his neighbor, and those are even chopped up grains, right? Not whole grains. But that was enough to secure the love of the Divine Lord. And those tiny bits of grains that he gave to him, that he offered to the Lord, resulted in tenfold the amount of wealth. Sudaman here, he received tenfold that amount of wealth that he offered to the Lord. And when he came back, he couldn't even recognize his home. It transformed into a beautiful palace. That is the love, the mercy that God has for all his devotees. And all he is seeking is bhakti, devotion from the offering. And so the wise, they understand that Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna, performing puja, worshipping God, giving thanks to him for everything, they understand that he is the source of all. He is the end all be all. Everything comes from him, everything stems from him, and everything will return to him as well. That is the divine Lord that we speak of. And when you pray, I know these days people are very busy. They're very busy. But if you can just set aside 5 minutes to pray to God every morning, it'll move mountains for you. These days people are very busy. I was listening to a kata that my dad gave last week. And he said people are very busy. They're always busy. And what are they busy doing? They're busy trying to look busy. They look on their phone. Anytime you see someone out in public, they don't even look you in the face. They're just down their head looking on their phone. They want to look busy. Scrolling on TikTok. I found out the other day my Pua has TikTok. I don't even have TikTok. I don't even know what it is. And she is going through TikTok reels. And many people do this. But they're too busy being busy. And God here, he's always making time for you. Always making time for you. Whenever you call upon God, does he never answer the phone? Does he ever go to voicemail? Ever put you to voicemail? He always makes time for his devotees. So it's very simple. He's not looking for much. Just a little 5 minutes. And if you can't spare that, at least light the diya or offer one flower and it will move mountains in your life. The blessings that you take with you every single day after praying at the altar, they will indeed help you greatly. Now, we have Dr. Kamini in the house. I was going to say Dr. Kamini today, but I realized her last name changed. And we also have Dr. Mira in the house. 2 doctors in here. And they can tell you firsthand the power of prayer. They can tell you firsthand. Now they have the arduous task, the most difficult task of telling patients, you know what, I don't think you'll make it. Or they'll say, you know what, unfortunately, I have to diagnose you with this terminal cancer or this terminal illness. And at that point, they give up the prescription pad. Because they know that whatever medicine, if there's a terminal illness we're talking about, whatever medicine that they are going to prescribe is practically useless. And so what do? They prescribe prayer instead. Now Dr. Kam, she goes one step further. She recites the Hanuman Chalisa to her patients with them. Right there in the operating room. And so she takes it one step further and she understands, both of them know the power of prayer. The power of prayer here is able to make the impossible possible. And so many of you as well have witnessed that in your life. So many of you have witnessed this personal power of prayer. And so my dear brothers and sisters, it behooves us to always perform Yajna in this manner. Deva Yajna, Brahma Yajna. It is for our own benefit. It's not like God needs anything. He doesn't need your flowers, he doesn't need your money, he doesn't need any of these things. He is the source, he is the creator. All he wants, he's offering you the opportunity, he's giving you the chance, you the opportunity to uplift yourself in life. And the only way to do that is by performing Yajna, Yagna, Deva Yagna, sacrifice, offering puja, worship unto him. Now moving along to chapter 4, verse 28, the Lord continues to say, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namah Dravya Yagya Tapo Yagya Yoga Yasya Tatapare Swadya Yagya Nyayagyashta Yataya Samshita Bhata Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Namo Namah. Now he begins to narrate another form of Yajna, which again we should be prescribing on a daily basis, and that is Dravya Yajna, which is the act of sacrificing one's wealth, one's possession, in service to humanity. Now I want to harp on this point a little bit because, Dravya Yajna, or giving in charity, this doesn't sit very well with some people. In particular, it doesn't sit well with misers, the miserly. And honestly, this is something that I can't particularly understand. Because when it comes to spending money on themselves, there's no hesitation. Quick time, they find the money to buy themselves some red bottom heels or a new bag or a new phone or whatever the case may be. Megan's laughing because she knows what I'm talking about. Now don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with buying things for yourself. You work hard for your money, and of course it's within your own right to spend it on yourself. But every now and then, you must always give to charity. That is what Sri Krishna is telling us, is his words. He is the authority of how to live life. And he's telling you, for your own benefit, you must perform Dravya Yajna, give in charity. Because when you perform charity, you are helping others. And there's no better blessing than to help someone else. That is amongst the highest blessings you can receive. You are helping people, the less fortunate, those that are in need, helping feed the hungry, donating your time, whatever it may be. Doing something meaningful for them is going to take you far in the here and in the hereafter as well. When you do something good for people, you feel all warm and fuzzy inside, right? It just puts a smile on your face. Isn't it so? You feel so happy that you were able to help someone. So every single day, we must continue this Dravya Yajna, this charity work. Now, my Aji and Aji, they were not very rich people at all. They're very simple people. In fact, if you were to go there in Bajanujan, the village that they grew up, my Aja, he built a little hut, and we saw it there. I think it was 2016 when we visited there in Guyana. We saw the little hut that he made with his own 2 hands and had to house 9 people. And it was probably no bigger than this puja altar here. 9 people had to live in there. So they weren't very rich people. They were very simple. They had a simplistic life. But yet they always found some way or some form to perform their duties and to perform Dravya Yajna, to give in charity. Whenever someone would come to the home, they couldn't leave the home without eating some food. It was obligatory that they had to eat. Even if they ate 1 hour or 5 minutes ago, they still had to eat food. And same thing in our house too. Whenever someone comes, you have to partake of food because we get the opportunity to do our duty and to feed other people and give in charity. And my Aji, she was a very good cook. One of the best. And one of the things that she loved to do, she loved to swirl roti. You swirl the roti on a stove. And she would tell me, and no matter what I was doing, if I was upstairs studying or if I was in the basement or whatever it was, I had to make sure I was there in the kitchen to watch her swirl that roti. I had to watch her swirl that roti. She would say, these are her words, she would say, Isyam then, right? Isyam could be roti swirl. And then she would bust out one big laugh, one smile. Because that brought her such happiness. Such happiness. It brought her to make me, her grandson, the most delicious roti New York City has ever seen. But I really wish she did more than just make me watch her. I wish she gave me the secret. Because I'm having a hard time swallowing roti in Boston. I must have went through 3-4 different flours and I still can't get that thing right. And that is very unfortunate. That thing is an art in itself, swallowing roti. And so, in her little way, whatever way she could, the point is, whatever way she could, she found means to perform charity. She donated, and my Aja as well, they donated their time, their love, their recipes, all these things they've done so that they can fulfill the obligatory duties that we have as Hindus. And in the scriptures, in the Srimad Bhagavad Puran, we are told as well of a great king. His name is King Rantidev. Now, he was amongst the most pious kings in all of the universe. He was a very wealthy man, but before he became a king, he was a staunch devotee of God. A staunch devotee of God. And so because of this, he always saw God in everyone. He saw the divine, the divinity in everyone, and it gave him great pleasure to serve his constituents. Whenever the citizens would approach him, if they were in need, he would freely give his wealth. He would give cows, he would give grains, he would give money, all these things he would give to them. And there was no terms attached. It wasn't a loan. It didn't have a fixed rate or a various interest rate, none of those things. Nothing he was looking for in return. It was out of the kindness, out of the goodness of his heart, that he enjoyed giving people. He enjoyed that feeling of contentment that you get when you give. But he had a problem. He loved to give too much. So that's a natural problem. Because sometimes, you gotta save some pennies for a rainy day. But Rantidev, he gave and gave and gave until there was nothing left to give. The man went completely bankrupt. All of his wealth gone. And to make matters worse, there was droughts on the land, famine as well. And so now him, his family, his constituents, they were all forced now to engage in fasting. And this went on for 48 long days and 48 long nights, until finally the 49th day came, and there a passerby, seeing the king and his family, he is offering him a plate of food and a cup of water. Now you have to imagine, if you were going without food for 48 days, more than a month and a half, and someone gives you some ration, you're not going to hesitate. Immediately you're going to flush that thing down. Right? You're going to flush it down quick time. And so now, that's what King Rantidev was about to do. He was about to do that. He was about to take some of this food, give his wife and his children, and take some for himself. But at that very moment, right when they were about to begin eating this bhojan, right then and there, a hungry Brahmin approached them. Now, he could have easily said, Brahmin, I'm very sorry, but my family and I have been without food for this many days, and if the circumstances were different, I'd give you this and a whole lot more. He could have easily said that. And the Brahmin would understand, and we continue along his journey. But that wasn't the kind of king that Rantidev was. Instead, what did he do? He understood the pains of hunger. He himself went hungry for 48 days. And so he took a portion of his food now. He siphoned off a portion of that food and gave it to the hungry Brahmin. And he was thankful that at least he had some food left over that he could share with his family. Now again, they're about to sit there on the dinner table and consume their meal, there's a knock on the door. And now this time is a wandering traveler. He's there, and he brought some friends with him too. He brought 4 dogs with him. And so now, the traveler is telling the king, Rantidev, I've traveled so far, and it's been such a long journey. I need to refuel. I need some food. Do you have any to spare? Now King Rantidev says, well, of course, I can spare you some food. So he gives him a portion of his bhojan once again. But this time the man looks at him and he says, what's this? This little bit? This thing can't do me. This thing can't fill me up, and let alone my dogs. The 4 dogs need food as well. They have to get refueled too for the journey. And so King Rantidev, he happily, without hesitation, he gave the entire plate of food to that traveler. The entire plate. So all he was left with now was his cup of water. That's the only thing he was left with. And he was thankful for that because, at the end of the day, water is really what we need to sustain ourselves on. And so, just as he's about to drink this water, guess what happens? There's another knock. And then there's this man who claims to be dying of thirst. He says he's literally dying of thirst. And so King Ronti Dev, once again, he gives the man a cup of water. And again, the king, he gave and gave until there was nothing left to give. That was the type of man that King Ronti Dev was. And in this situation, he didn't have much, but he was able to give everything. He was thankful for the opportunity that God gave him. God, after so many days, after 48 long days, he was thankful that God gave him the opportunity to serve humanity once again. He was very thankful for that. And it just so happened that those same 3 individuals, they came back to visit the king. But this time, they came in a different form. They came as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. So they came, he didn't know, he had no idea that these 3 men, these were divine gods there in disguise. But the Lord put him to the test. He wanted to truly test his charitable deeds. And they came and they blessed him with their darshan. Now easily, if only Brahmadev came, the king would have been very happy. And he would have sought a boon from the king, from Brahmadev. If only Vishnu, Bhagwan Sri Vishnu came, equally happy he would have been. And if only Mahadev showed up, he would have been very, very happy as well. But you see, the entire Trinity, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, the 3 Murtis, they themselves come to show the world and to prove to the world the point that when you give in charity, they will always bless you. The Lord will always bless you. Sometimes, things is rough, especially these days, inflation and all these things, everyone is feeling the burn, the pinch. But I promise you, if you have faith in God, if you pray to Mother Lakshmi, who is the very giver of wealth, money will come. It will come. It's only a matter of time. For King Ronti Dev, it took 48 days. For us, it might be less, or it might be more. But with devotion to God, when you pray to God, He will give you everything you need to meet all of your obligations in life. And so, in this way, my dear brothers and sisters, we see that the blessings behind Dravya Yajna is immense. And Ronti Dev, he was able to now, instead of becoming a king there in his land, he sat on the throne and became king, one of the kings in Vaikunt, which is, of course, one of the hardest places to get into. But through Dravya Yajna, by performing sacrifice of this nature, he was able to instantly guarantee his spot there in the highest of the heavens. And now finally, the last one I want to touch on is Tapo Yajna. Sri Krishna tells us that to attain enlightenment, one should engage in Tapo Yagna, which is the engagement of tapas or austerities of the 3 kinds. There are 3 types of austerities. There are spiritual practices of the body, of the mind, and also of words. These are the 3 different types of tapas that we should always be engaging in. And of course, we don't have time for all 3, but we will touch on one of the foremost and important ones, the spiritual practice or austerities of the body. In chapter 17, verse 14, Lord Krishna tells us in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita that Krishna Damodaram Vasudevam Hare Vasudevam देवद्विजा गुरु प्रज्ञान पूजनं शौचम् अर्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यम् अहिंसा च शरीरां तप उच्यते कृष्ण दामोदरं वासुदेवं verses we are told of exactly what austerities of the body consist of. And it is puja, worship to the Supreme Lord, as we just touched upon. And it is also worship of the holy people, worship to your Guru, and worship to mother and father. Now these are things, worshiping the Guru, worshiping mother, father, God as well, and all the holy people around you. These are things that we are supposed to be doing on a daily basis. On a daily basis. Every day you pray, you thank God for all that He's given you. You thank Him for all that He's not given you. And of course, you find time to engage in satsang so you can learn more about His greatness. And every day as well, you must revere the Guru. You must revere the Guru. This is what the Srimad Bhagavad Gita here is telling us. The Lord Sri Ram, every single morning, what was the first thing he did when he woke up? He bowed to his mother and father. Bowed to their feet. Mother and father being the first gurus in your life. And as he got older and he joined the Gurukul, the ashram, he also, every single day, he would give reverence to his Guru Vashishtha. And long before and long after that as well, he would always give reverence to the Guru. Now the Lord here, He is God. Sri Ram is God. He knows everything. But yet, He tells us, He shows us the importance of paying homage to your Guru. Because the Guru here, my dear brothers and sisters, they are the ones that depart the divine knowledge that we need to seek, to see ourselves out of this mundane world so that we can uplift ourselves and attain mukti or liberation. But you know what you see these days? You actually see the unthinkable. In today's society, you see that sometimes the shishya, the student, boldly and outright disrespects the Guru, going as far as to think that they are even better than the Guru, that they know more than the Guru. Well, that kind of arrogance, when someone has that, they can never learn anything. They're simply unteachable at that point. In the scriptures, we are told again in the Srimad Bhagavatam of Maharaj Bali, the king, the Asuraj, the demon king Bali, who was always showed great reverence to his Guru, Guru Shukra Acharya, who, by the way, was a very great bhakta of Lord Shiva. Now, all that Bali had attained, he was a very respectable king in the sense that he attained or amassed a lot of wealth and land. All that he attained, he was able to thank his Guru for because it was through his guidance, by giving him the knowledge, that he was able to secure all these things. And although, King Bali was a demon, he had some redeeming qualities to him. Because after all, he was the grandson of Bhakt Prahlad. And so he also has a little bit of redeeming qualities to him, particularly that he would always heed to the words of his Guru. In fact, it was due to his Guru's advice that he started to perform this Ashwamedha Yajna, the fruits of which will make him amongst the most powerful person in the entire world. And with that kind of power in the wrong hands, in the hands of a demon like Bali, it only means devastation and destruction. And so, of course, Bhagavan Shri Vishnu, he had to find a way to intervene so that this Yajna, this Ashwamedha Yajna, would not be completed, and so that Bali, the demon king, would not secure this ultimate power. And so now he took form in this childlike Brahmin form, known as Vamandev, and he came there seeking dan, seeking alms from the Yagkarta, from Bali himself. Now, King Bali, he didn't want to get up from his seat because he didn't want the offerings that were being performed there to go in vain. And so he sent his attendants to give some alms to the Brahmin, the childlike form of Bhagavan Shri Vishnu. And of course, the Lord will refuse those alms because he wanted the king himself to give him this dakshina, this alms, this dan. Now, it was at this moment that the Guru, Shukra Acharya, he stepped in and he warned Bali that this being, that this Brahmin that you see here, he is nothing more than Bhagavan Shri Vishnu himself. But unfortunately for Bali, he disregarded his Guru's words. And he thought to himself, how can this childlike being, who has no physical attributes of greatness to him, how can he be God? The Guru Shukracharya must not know what he's talking about. And so he takes the sankalp to give dan to Vamandev. And at that moment now, Vaman, he grows to this colossal sized being. He grows and grows so big and so large that he takes from the king 3 steps of land. 3 steps of land. Because the king now, being true to his word, grants us his 3 steps, but Vamandev, he grows so colossal that in his first step, he's able to conquer the entire earth. And in his second step, he conquers the skies and the heavens. And so with nowhere left to go, the king, Asuraj Bali, he offered his head to Bhagavan Shri Vishnu for his 3rd step. And of course, as you know, when he stepped on the head there of Maharaj Bali, it put him straight now down into Sutal Lok, which is the netherworld, or one of the hells. Right there he went, and tragedy was avoided. Now the reason for this story in the 6th canto of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, the Srimad Bhagavatam, that Brahmadev himself narrates to Indradev, he wants to tell the world that regardless of the fact that Shukra Acharya, he was the guru of the demons, regardless of that fact, he was nonetheless a guru. And by disregarding the words of his guru, Bali here, he met the most dire outcome. Straight to the hell, straight to Sutal Lok, he was there. You see, my dear brothers and sisters, Brahmadev, he wanted us to, and the world to know that when you give reverence to your guru, one is able to become amongst the most powerful in the world, the most powerful. The guru will take you to the highest of heights. He will take you to anywhere you need to go because he has the jnana, he has the knowledge. But when you disrespect the guru, when you despise the guru, then like Bali, you will lose everything in life. Sooner or later, all the possessions you have, all the wealth, all the jnana, all the knowledge will soon evade you because of the disrespect, the despisement that you have for the guru. So we should never, ever, ever in our lives disrespect our guru, because as we see here, the consequences are extremely dire. And when I say guru, I don't only mean the spiritual master, but I also mean mother and father. Again, they are the first gurus that we have. And too often, especially in this country, you see parents being mistreated by their children too often, both by young and adult children. When the mom and dad get older, when they get sick, children don't even keep them at their homes anymore. What do? They send them to the nursing homes. And you know, some of these commercials, you ever watch some of these commercials for the nursing homes? They're very convincing. They'll say, oh, your mom and dad will have a great time here. They'll make new friends. They'll be able to engage in all kinds of sports and activities. It is the best place for them to be in expert care, in the expert hands of nurses and trained physicians. All these niceties they'll get exposed to. Just pay a lump sum of money, and we can guarantee that they get in there. Now you have to ask yourself, when you get older, do you want to be away from your children? Or do you always want to be next to your children? Especially as you age and the uncertainties of time are there, you want to do everything in your power to stay close to your children, right? Everything in your power. But these days, it is the norm that children, they just stick them there in the nursing home. Now, is that fair? Is it fair that now that the parents, now that mother and father is sickly and they can't tend to themselves, that these children now, they decide to stick them into a nursing home? Is that fair at all? Because when you were younger, when you were a child, when you were sickly, the parents didn't stick you in a hospital and walk away. They didn't stick you in some half house or something like that and walk away. They tended to your needs. They made sure that to do everything in their power to make you whole again. And so we can only return that favor to them. It's the least we can do as children. Return the favor, because mother and father, they do so much for us. So much to do for us. They go through so many expenses, not for their benefits, but for our own benefits, for the child's benefits. Now, most of you here, mothers and fathers, you understand what I'm talking about. You go through all this hardship. Many of you came here to this country. My mom and dad, they left Venezuela, and they came to New York, and they came here, where they literally started from nothing. From nothing. And they were living the luxurious life there in Venezuela. And they didn't come because of that for their sake, they came because of us. They wanted to provide opportunities for their children. And likewise, all of you are doing the same. So it is only right that we fulfill our duties. As the Bhagavad Gita here is saying, performing the austerities of this kind to the Guru, to mother and father. You can't pretend to have a great relationship with your mortals at home if you're going to have a bad relationships with the parents at home. It just doesn't work. You can't fool God. If you can't honor mother and father, they are our earthly gods. The Bhajan tells us that Tumiho mata pita tumiho, tumiho banyu saka tumiho. Mother and father are our earthly gods. Let us all join in this bhajan as we sing. Tumiho mata pita tumiho mata, tumiho banyu saka tumiho. Oh recited in his bhajan that mother and father, guru, teacher, preceptor, they're the only forms of God that we can actually see, we can actually touch, feel, and converse with. Indeed, mother and father are our earthly gods. And one mother and one father in particular, they have done so much for the world during their time here on earth. I'm talking about Mataji and Aji. They have done so much that indeed they're an inspiration to all of us. Mataji, she was well known for her melodious voice. That is the legacy she leaves behind. She is considered to be the resident Lata Mangeshwar here in the Sri Modi Bhavan and also throughout the Indo-Caribbean community. And she was always praising the name of God wherever she went. Aja, he was not such a good singer, but nevertheless, he promoted his religion in his own right in many different unique ways. And he was a champion for Sanatana Dharma. But amongst all their achievements in life, amongst all the achievements that my Aji and Aji have garnered throughout the years, I would say that the best one is the legacy that they leave behind as well, which comprises of their children, their 4 sons and 3 daughters. And I'm going to attempt to name them off memory because I don't know their right names much, and more so their common names. But we have first one, my chacha, Danpal, Narine. And then we have the first daughter, Sursati, and then she is followed by Ewati, and then, guess who's next? You know, I'm forgetting my chacha Roop. He's the second one, sorry, the third one. And then my dad, and then after my dad, it is Krishna and Rajpati. And 4 of them are here today. The other couldn't be here. They're in Venezuela, and you know, the political climate there isn't really conducive to making the journey here. And so indeed, their greatest contribution in life were their children. You know, for example, my chacha, Dr. Danpal, he's undoubtedly one of the greatest leaders of this community. Undoubtedly. He works tirelessly, day and night. Sometimes it's 1 o'clock in the morning and he's sending out random emails to people. 2 o'clock in the morning. Everyone's sleeping, but he's up at night doing his duty for the community. That's how invested he is. And then there is Rupa and Krishna, my chacha Rupa and Krishna. They're like the modern day Shravan Kumar. Truly. When my parents were alive, when my Aja and Aji were alive, they did everything for them. They never stuck them in a nursing home. More so my chacha Rup. Him and his family, him and his other half and his children, they always made sure everything was up to date. Food was up to date, clothes were up to date. They didn't have to lift a finger, my Aja and Aji, in their olden days because of the duty that my chacha Rup had fulfilled. And of course, not forgetting my puas, they also did their parts. Whenever they came to the States, they'd house them and always take care of them as well. But I often wondered, I asked my Aji this, because I always found when they came to the States, I always noticed that they spent the most time at our house. And I was curious, how come you don't go spend so much time at Pua Lynn house and Pua Cleary house? And I asked her, why do you spend all these times with them? I thought it was because my dad was her favorite. That's what I thought. I probed her and I said, Aji, tell me who's your favorite child? She said, all. I said, no, that's not true. I probed her again. She said, I'm telling you, all of my children are my favorite child. And so she never relented. She never gave me the real answer. But I can deduce that I think it was my dad that was her favorite amongst them all. Because in the inquiry that I had about who was her favorite, she would go on to tell me the story of how he was conceived over 60 plus years ago. And it goes like this. She found herself at a Yajna where the Vyas was reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam. And she was so inspired, she was so in awe by the message that the Vyas had given that she, right then and there, she prayed to have a son like that Vyas. She wanted to have a son that wherever he traveled, wherever he went, the name of Lord Krishna would always follow him. And of course, 60 plus years later, I'm not going to give you the exact number. 60 plus years later, he is here with us on this very day, June 29th, as he celebrates his over 60th birthday. His over 60th birthday. And in my fully biased opinion, and I think many of you here would agree with me as well, I think that he is one of the greatest beings to walk this earth. Now this Yajna, I understand, is not about him or is not about his birthday, but we just spoke about honoring mother and father, right? It's our duty to honor mother and father. And so you allow me in a few moments to praise him a little bit, especially on his birthday. Because he indeed is a very special individual. From a very young age, my Aja and Aji saw greatness in him. And my Aja was relentless in his determination to see him achieve that greatness that he knew my dad was destined for. At the very tender age of 5, my dad's favorite thing to do was to read the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. At 5 years old. And at 9, he read his first Yajna. There, I think it was the William Mandir. Now, I don't know about you, but when I was 5, I didn't even know how to read. When I was 9, I barely even knew that much more to read. But at 5 years old, he was reading this most complex text, the Bhagavad Gita. Now, that is what you call a calling in life. He has the calling to do what he is doing. And from that point on, my dear brothers and sisters, from 9 onwards, my Aja would take him to the different mandirs, and he would speak to their executive members and convince all of them that although he was a child, he was amongst the most capable to be on the Singhasan and to expound from the scriptures. He had learned from the likes of my great-grandfather, his Aja, Pandit Bakaran, and Pandit Bhagavan, and all these other great pandits of the times. And, my great-grandfather, Pandit Bakaran, he also believed in him so much, he knew for how much greatness he had in him, that before he left this earth, he gave my dad his most prized possession. And that is the mala that he wears around his neck. Every puja he ever goes to, that mala is always around his neck. So that mala is more than 80 plus years old, that mala. The same original thread as well. And so his most prized possession was given to him because he knew that my dad would bring the Bhagavan lineage to great heights. And so much reverence he still has for his Aja as well. And both my Aja and Aji, they also saw the talent. They saw the potential, they nurtured it, and they let it grow. And in part because of them, he has gotten to this point in his life. He's at the pinnacle. He is the Dharmacharya of New York State. He is a man with great knowledge, with great devotion, and more impressively, he has even greater humility. He's very humble. And to me, like I said, he is the greatest. He is the greatest. The Bhagavad Gita tells us, Yajna Shatam Shreshtaha Tatat Pitaro Janam Sayat pramanam kuru edokasaraan nuvartate. Shri Krishna tells us that whatever action a great man performs, common men follow. And whatever standards he sets by exemplary acts, the entire world pursues. Meaning that whatever a great man does, others will follow. And indeed, he is a role model to so many of us. So many of our pundits, including myself, we got our start under his tutelage. And so many of us, in many ways, whether we are aware or not, subconsciously, we are always trying to emulate him. Because, as the Bhagavad Gita says, whatever a great man does, others will follow. And some will say, when you ask them, who's your role model? When I were to ask you, who's your role model in life? Some people will say, oh, well, it's the President of the United States. I didn't say which president. It's the President of the United States. And others will say, well, it's Bill Gates or Elon Musk or the great business tycoon in India, Savitri Jindal. But ask me who my role models are. And I will tell you that it is a different Savitri. And I will tell you, equally importantly, that it is my father, our Dharmacharya. There is absolutely no doubt in my mind that my siblings and I, we couldn't be where we are here today. And we're not really that much of anything, but we couldn't be where we are without my mother and father. Without their teachings. Mother and father are indeed the first guru. Practically every single thing that we know, we owe to them. They have laid the foundation for us to be able to continue the pursuit of knowledge, a lifelong, never-ending journey. And not just us, they are doing the same for their grandchildren too, you heard. But the grandchildren, they get better treatment than the kids these days. I don't recall getting piggyback rides when I was younger. And as I get older, I realize how much of my dad is actually embedded in all of us. And for one, my nephews, they're just like him. You saw the older one, Vishan, and he gave his speech. Now, if you were to look at him and look at a young days picture of my dad, print, exact twin, the two of them. And he is just as fearless and bold, and he is a real intellect as well. And the younger one, Dave, you saw him earlier as well. And he's a real charmer, a real sweet talker, just like his nana. Who, by the way, got it from his Ajay. My Ajay was such a sweet talker, his nickname was Sugar. Because every single word that came out of his mouth was sweet like sugar. And he captivated my Ajay's heart that way. And in all of my siblings, no matter what we do, we strive to do it wholeheartedly because that is exactly what my dad does. Anything that he does, you always see him give his 110%. He always takes on a challenge, he never shies away from the challenge, and he always wants to be the best at what he does. And he is the best because he is so invested, he cares so much about his dharma that he will stop at no means necessary to continue to restore and revive our wonderful way of life throughout the entire world. This is the type of person that he is. And we're also very lucky to have him in our lives. Now, some of us will call him Dad, some of us call him Nana, which probably is his favorite title nowadays. And some of you will call him Dharmacharya as well. But only one person gets to call him sweetheart or baby. Although I never heard that in my life. Maybe behind closed doors or something, but I never heard of it. But the point is, no matter what name we call him, at the end of the day, he will always be the son of Mr. and Mrs. Owad. The parents that he loves so much that he decided to bring the entire family together, the entire community together, to conduct this Yajna in their honor. And this Yajna, we know, will bring peace It will bring bliss and happiness to their souls. You know, when my Aji was alive, as I mentioned earlier, she loved to sing. And one of the favorite things that she liked to do was serenade her children, especially on their birthdays. She'd make the call. If she couldn't be there in person, she'd make the call and she'd sing that special birthday song. Sometimes she loved the song so much she'd sing it to herself also. But today, we should also make, although she's not here physically, we should all, on her behalf, serenade my dad now for his birthday. What do you think of that? So let's have, okay, Uncle Bablu, do the honors.
हो मुबारक हो तुझको, हो जन्मदिन तुम्हारा, सदा खुश रहो है दुआएं हमारा. Happy birthday to you, may भगवान bless you. Happy birthday to you, Mother Durga bless you. Happy birthday to you, may भगवान bless you. Happy birthday to you, may all the Durga bless you. मुबारक हो तुझको जन्मदिन तुम्हारी, हो सदा खुशी रहो है दुआएं हमारी. हो जन्मदिन तुम्हारा मिल गया तो हमको, जन्मदिन तुम्हारा मिल गया तो हमको. तो बधाई हो बधाई जन्मदिन तुम्हारा, बधाई हो बधाई जन्मदिन हो बाबा. आज जन्मदिन
course, most certainly they're blessing you abundantly from above on your special day. You know, my dad is very blessed. Very blessed. Over the years, he has received some of the best birthday gifts any dad can ask for. For example, one year, just about 1 week before his birthday, he got the early birthday gift of his very first daughter, Derby Davy. And then another year, like 2 years after that, he got his second daughter, Lakshmi Devi, as a late birthday gift about 3 days after. And then decades will pass, and when he got now a new son in the family. Because on this very day as well, June 29th, as you've heard, my sister and my brother-in-law, Baral, got married. So he welcomed another member of the family. And then years again will pass, about 3 years will pass, when he got the news for the very first time that he was going to be a Nana on his birthday. Bishan was still in his mom's belly at that time. But he got the news. And then about 6 years ago back, he also got another birthday gift that he was going to be a Nana for the second time. Because as a late birthday gift, about 8 days from his birthday, Dave was born. So you can only imagine how broke I go. All these birthdays, all these celebrations, and it all kicks off with Father's Day as well. 2.5 weeks. I have to buy all these gifts, no spacing apart at all. But I guess it's better to get it all done within one shot, right? But of course, what we can't forget today as well is another blessing, another birthday gift that he's been able to celebrate his mother and father's life in this manner, in Yajna. And we know that what we're doing here today by performing this Mahayagya, the Yajna of this magnitude, automatically now, this will allow them to fulfill the obligatory duties and allow the parents, Mataji and Aji, allow their souls to go straight to Vaikunt, to Swarga, to the heavens. And so, my dear brothers and sisters, in conclusion, life is all about sacrifice. Yajna is sacrifice. And you always have to sacrifice in life. If you want to lose weight, what do you have to do? You have to sacrifice food, right? You can't eat the fatty foods anymore. You can't eat the sugary foods anymore. So the first thing you have to do is sacrifice food. Second thing you have to do, sacrifice money. Because now you have to pay for a gym membership. You can't just expect yourself to stop eating and lose weight all the time, just like that. So you have to go exercise. But you have to sacrifice one more thing. You have to sacrifice time. Time, you have to find time to go to the gym and exercise. And only then can you actually lose weight. So life, in essence, is all about sacrifice. And my dear brothers and sisters, the Bhagavad Gita is telling us here that sacrifice, yajna, penance, austerities, charities, these are things that are not to be given up. They are to be performed religiously, because by doing so, it purifies the soul. That is the benefit of yajna. That is why my Aja and Aji, they sought it wise to honor their memory in this way. They gave the instructions long before they left the earth, because they knew the benefits of yajna. It purifies the soul. And so, of course, we know that although they're no longer here, this yajna here will continue to memorialize their legacy and continue to elevate their souls to new heights. So in conclusion, let us just join in a short kirtan as we chant the name of Shri Radhe Krishna. Radhe Krishna Bhajare Ramana Bhatta Radhe Krishna Bhajare
Krishna
Vyas Maharaj ki. Thank you so much. Please give her a Vyas a round of applause. Pitaji did a wonderful, wonderful job here this evening. And we want to say thank you, Pitaji, for wonderful, especially when you speak about Guruji, when you speak about Guru, you must give thanks to the Guru. First thing in the morning, last thing at night, we must give thanks to the Guru. The first thing, we give thanks to the Guru, especially when we do puja. And of course, Mom and Dad is our first Guru. And then our Guru after that. And we always have to give aviation to Guru, no matter what, my dear friends. And as Hinduism, and a Hindu, part of us being Hindu, we have to have a Guru. If you don't have a Guru, seek Guru and have a Guru. And your Guru, please, when you seek a Guru, you look for the best Guru that suits you. I seek him out, my Guru, and he seek me out. We find each other. And when I asked him to be my Guru, he greatly accepted. And today I should say I'm so honored for him to be my Guru. The best Guru someone could ever ask for. He's always been there, and I put him to the test a lot. Believe me. Like one test when my brother passed away a few years ago. He dropped everything. He had a lot of things to do that weekend and that week. And he dropped everything. He makes arrangement for people to go and do the puja. There was a wedding actually, and that weekend as well. And he gets somebody to went there. I don't know if Pani Ganesh went there or whoever. And he was there for me and my family from day one. He's been there for us. And in turnaround, I'm always there for him. It works both ways, my dear friends. And anytime I pick up the phone and I call him, even if he doesn't answer, he calls me right back. And we speak for hours and hours and hours. Last night we spoke to about 2 o'clock this morning. And he put me on hold. He says, "Godson, could you hold on for a minute? It's 12 or 5 p.m. And I forgot it was his birthday already, right? Godmother called him and wished him a very happy birthday. And when he come on the phone, I look back and I said, "Oh man, it's 12:10. I said, "Guruji, I want to wish you a very happy birthday." And he says, "Yeah, my grandmother just called and wish him a very so. Grandmother is number one. Although I said I'm the number one. Grandmother is the number one, I'm number two. Ganesh, where Ganesh? He just wished Guruji a happy birthday just now. After like 300 something people. So I don't know what you've been doing all day, but number one always here.
4:30 this morning.
Who? You big Guruji 4:30? Really?
Facebook.
Huh?
Facebook.
Oh, Facebook. No, I'm not on Facebook. We back the real thing. 2 o'clock this morning. And he was telling me, you were talking about the cricket match. He told me, "Godson, who's going to win the match?" I said, "No, who's going to win?" He said,
South Africa.
I had my sons come up here to say something so that I can avoid doing this, but thank you to my dear Gaba for calling me up. But want to wish my dad a very, very happy birthday. You guys have seen the very strict side of him, I guess, as he was raising us, but now when you see my kids with him, oh my God, he's the biggest softie. He is the best mama in the world, and just want to, again, wish you the very, very best with many more years of health and happiness.
Thank you very much, Lakshmi. Come on, Lakshmi. Lakshmi chooses outfit by the way.
First, I want to thank you all for coming out to this Yajna. It really means a lot to my grandparents. I'm sure their souls are rejoicing right now. And I'd also like to wish my dad a very happy birthday. He looks young as ever, don't you agree? Yes. It's the outfit that I chose. My dad has always been a big role model in my life. Growing up, one thing that I could say that he has instilled in me is religion and praying to God. Every morning, there's not one day that I don't leave the house without praying in our altar room. I'm the first one to leave every morning, so sometimes I'll get lucky and my dad will pray with me before I go to work. So, Dad, I love you and thank you for everything that you continue to do for all of us, and JC.
Jai Shri Ram, Jai Shri Krishna. Well, first of all, I'd like you to put your hands together and give her Vyas to your I don't speak of him as my son, I speak of him with Vyas. I think he did a remarkable job. I listened to every word that he said. I liked the way he presented text. I admire his articulate and very eloquent form of disseminating the message. She delivered to us. Don't you all agree? It was indeed a very scholarly presentation. It was to the point, and it was very professional, as I already described. His diction to us here tonight from the Srimad Bhagavad Gita. The Gita is a text that is very rich in philosophy, and to be able to dive into this text and to bring out these invaluable gems to all of us is indeed work of a true genius. And he himself is a genius because he read some books which looks like gibberish to me. I don't know where to start from all these big, huge textbooks. Anyway, it's not about us praising each other, him praising me praising him. This is not what it's about tonight. We're talking about his presentation that I think was excellent. So, Mr. Chandra, we asked you for that wonderful presentation. Now, my dear brothers and sisters, this Yajna is not about my birthday. It's a coincidence that it happened during my birthday. This Yajna is about these two people who were there at this table, about my parents. See, my mom passed approximately a year ago, so we had to do the shroud, our ship shroud a few days ago. So it tied in with this weekend here with my birthday. But I want to thank all of you for birthday wishes and all those who wished me on Facebook also. My special thanks to all of you. I'm certainly very humbled by your appreciation and your love and your kindness and warmth and all these kind wishes and good words that you have wished me with. Well, speaking of this birthday, for all purposes, 2/3 of my life is over. I maybe have less than 1/3 remaining. For sure, it's not more than 1/3, because that'll put me way over 90. I don't think I'll make it there. So if I do, I manage to 1/3. So 2/3 is over, and now we have a few years more remaining, hopefully. And with these remaining years, I plan to continue to do exactly what I've been doing, and to pursue this path of spirituality, serving the Lord, by serving Sanatana Dharma and this and that community. It's good to know that the work is appreciated along the world where I go, but whether the feedback is positive or negative doesn't really have much of an impact. I still continue to do what God wants me to. And that is my mission here, and I ask God for good health so that I can continue to do His work in many ways. So I have a wonderful family, and who make sacrifices when I'm not home, and we must appreciate that as well. So, my dear brothers and sisters, very quickly before this time is going, I know we have a reminder who will be coming up. Just wanted to tell you something, those of you who were not here last night. The reason why we're honoring our parents simply because they were two great people. They were great people. And I personally, along with my siblings, we're all indebted to both of them for the lessons they imparted to us. My dad was not an educated man. He didn't go to school very far. I think he went up to 6th standard then, or not even, because in those days, you know, if you're a boy, child, and at a very early age, you know what happened, you got to work in fields. So his dad, he had some rice cultivation and everything there, and he had to do odd job, menial work, and so he didn't get a chance to actually go to school. But he was a very smart man. He was very smart, and very intelligent. He wasn't a lettered man per se, but he was very intelligent, very witty, very smart. And also, he was very bold, he was very brave. He didn't hesitate to take chances in life. Those of you who know him may know a little bit of that side of him, but that we knew were not. And particularly, he was the driving force behind me reading the Ramayana and the Bhagavad Gita at a very early age. And as far as my recollection goes, I was the chosen one by him, because he saw in me, according to him, the potential and the ability to pursue this path. And this is what he really invested in. He invested a lot in me. And his dream was for me to sit on the asana someday and to read and many times, years after, when he would come and sit right back at that back bench there, be officiating in this seat here, and he would listen to me and the tears would flow. And I could just imagine what was going through his mind. So sometimes. And he was a man who was very mean in giving praise to me. But when he really moved by a sermon, when we go back in the car, he said, you did a really good job tonight. You really touched me tonight. I said, what about the other times? He said, well, yeah, but tonight you really touched me. So he was a man like that. And but he was a great father. He was a great father. Now it says, what you teach your child, you're actually teaching your child's child. So what he taught us, we pass on to our children, and then to their children. And that's how it goes on. So one of the things he taught us as a father, both of them, father and mother, was to all of us this value, the virtue of love. They taught us to love each other and to respect each other's siblings. And we have had no disagreement between us as siblings. 7 of us grew up in the same home. Then we grew away in different homes. We have our respective families, and the love and respect has always been there for all these years. This is how we were raised by these two wonderful parents. My mom, like my dad, was not educated either. She could barely write and be able to read these bhajans that she was singing from the bhajan books and so on. But she was very supportive, and she was the greatest mother in the world. If you all know her, she was very, very humble. And that humility she taught us, all of us, to be simple and to be humble. And you can't pretend to be humble. You gotta be a naturally humble person. And I really can't think of myself being anything else but humble. And this is who I am. I go places and people praise you, they say all these things, and it doesn't register. Because I said I'm going to be talking about you. It's good to know people appreciate what you do, but at the end of the day, you just do your duty. So my mom was that person. Now my mom was very biased in one way, in a couple of ways. Number one, she was a very good chef. And I think she only taught, no offense to the rest, she only taught two of us how to cook well. Me and my big sister. Yeah, I think so. Because people tell me I'm a good chef. Right, Con? So, But the other way she was biased is, this time was for only one of the children, because I haven't heard any of the 6 sing a song yet. And they took that from my dad, because he was the one who was listening. My mom was the one who would be singing. So I think I got a little bit from her. She inspired me, and she told me, I'll die one day, but I'm leaving my voice with you before I go. And I'm grateful for that. So, looking back at their lives, they were great examples to all of us. And I thought that the best way to memorialize, to remember them, was to go all the way to India and get these 2 murtis of them made by some of the greatest artists there in Chennai. And you'll agree with me that they did a superb job replicating this image based on a picture that I gave them. So if you look at the picture, we created these murtis of my mother and father. And that's how I would like to remember them, to look at them every day, to remind me of their greatness and what they've done for us. This is the least we can do, to say thank you to Mother and Father for these invaluable lessons that are imparted to us. Now, they're no strangers to all of you who are here. You know them well. They've come here many times to this mandir, so many year after year, celebrated many occasions here in this mandir. And this Yajna is our humble way of saying thank you to these 2 wonderful souls. And it's our prayer that they shall always reside with Lord Krishna, and we'll be together forever and be in His comforting arms and enjoy a state of eternal peace and happiness. Prem Shri Krishna Chandra Bhagwan ki Jai. And tonight I would like to acknowledge here Mohini ji has come all the way from Montreal. Mohini ji was also their daughter as well, especially my dad. So Mohini, on one occasion, she gave my dad a wallet, a new wallet. And my dad opened his wallet. He said, "Oh, it's a proper good girl." I said, "What do you mean?" He said, "Look, the wallet not empty. She put something inside too." And he showed me a couple $100 was in the wallet. Oh, and from that point, you stole his heart. So every time I go to Canada, you meet a girl. What's that, man? Right. And we always said, and my mom also. So she was their daughter. She truly loved them, and they loved her to death as their own child. So Mohini, we want to thank you very much. You and Shiva who were here. Shiva was also a son of theirs as well. They traveled all over Montreal to be here for this year. Please give them a nice round of applause. I want to thank the rest of your family also, our Bahin Shantaji and all the sisters and all you here tonight. Thank you all, Santaji also, and for being here as well. Another person whom they really liked, my mom especially, was by Chandra Mohan, because she would go by him, and she would sing to him, and he knew both of them so well. Well, who doesn't know Mohanji, and they were very fun with him as well, and he did so much for them. So, Mohanji, I'm so happy you made it to come here tonight. We must have listened to you before we could include it tonight. Another person who my dad was fond of was Mindraji as well. Mindraji was another daughter, and also Val. Val was his favorite daughter also. So these were people, who he was very fond of. And he would visit, and he would spend time, he would send chatting and everything. And one of his sons here was Kumarji, the BP Singh. Yeah, he was in the house also, and he has some very good memories with him. So Kumarji, thank you for being here again tonight. So I'm pretty sure all of you guys have very good memories of both parents, and they were great people, and we got to bless them. Now, in the essence of time, it's getting late, and we have a program here. I think of course, we have to listen to the Ramayana one more time, but we must listen to my Mohanji also before we conclude here this evening. Quickly, I want to thank Panit Loknath Sakolji from Suriname, all the way to the special trip. Dr. Kuta here, so beautifully for us. We performed the Shroud, the Varshik Shroud, and then this for the Yajna. But we really thank you on behalf of our entire family for being here with us. Thanks to Dr. Meera, Ambika, Punyaji, and the whole gang, all of you for being here, and kids for being here, last time being here tonight. We're really grateful for your support. And I see my sis, I hear from Staten Island here, also here tonight. So thank you very much. And so many of you, I know all of you have come here for this intertonic dimension. So we turn it over to the Ramayana Gold. And yeah, and then we must listen very calm. Yes, calm, you will speak, you have to speak of that. Yeah. Calm will give us a little message also. And calm, you're looking so beautiful here tonight. In Monday also looks beautiful when you were here. Okay, hold on to Ramayana Gold. These two people here, they are so much in love with each other, and they have the happiest life along with their two children. So every time I ask Virat, I said, how is Virat? Oh, she's amazing. She's just amazing. I said, she cook? No, she doesn't cook. I said, she's amazing. Oh, she's amazing. I said, she does laundry? No, I do the laundry. I said, how come she can be laundry? She does amazing. There's no one else like her. And she said the same thing about him. So today, they're celebrating, on this day, they're celebrating 12 years of happy marriage. 12 years. And we want to congratulate both of them and wish both of you well, continued happiness in your marriage, togetherness in marriage, and all the things that you wish for will all come true through the blessings of the Lord. Keep being there for each other. Be together. Now we ask Pitaji to give some blessings now, and as we will garland each other, and this very special day.
Hari Om Ano Bhadra Kratavo Janto Visvato Dabdhaso Apadita Saudveta Devano Jatha Sada Midbridhe Asanna Prayo Rakshitaro Deve Deve Devanam Bhadra Somate Rajo Yatan Devana Gumra Tera Bhedo Nipattatama Devana Gun Sakya Mubase Bhima Vayam Deva Na Ayuho Pratirantu Jevase. Bolo Lakshmi Narayana Bhagwan ki Jai.
Thank you very much, Pitaji, and this simple way of saying congratulations to both of you on this happy 12th wedding anniversary. Is Bhai Mohanji available? Bhai Mohanji, are you available with your bhajan? You must be busy in the kitchen. I want to thank Randy, all the way from my godson, all the way from Irvington, along with Devita and the three children, Lalitji and his Dharmapatni, Pam, coming all the way from Union, New Jersey, to be here tonight. Thank you all so much for being here. We really appreciate making all the trip out here in Queens to be with us here to celebrate this occasion. Thank you so much. Certainly make my day today with all your presence here. And of course, Mike is here all from the Bronx, Mike and Dee. And joining us 5 minutes ago was Punji and his Darren partner. We couldn't miss this, right? We couldn't miss it. Yeah, so thank you all. Now, it's getting late. There's a lot of delicious food upstairs. We didn't have your meal yet. Please have some dinner before you leave. And we must finish now because we're going to start here tomorrow morning at service starts at 9:30. Our puja will start at 7:30. So 2 hours of puja and the 9:30 the session starts to finish up by 12 o'clock. So please join us tomorrow for the final session of the Yajna. Once again, thank you so much for all the birthday wishes. Thank you for your presence here, gracing our Yajna here tonight. Our entire family, we're deeply grateful, we're thankful to you for joining us here, for making this a success. Thank you again, everyone. Please stand for our team.